may disagree with what I'm about to say, but if you're getting intrigued about using a rebounder for your workouts, if you've been looking them up online, watching different videos, scrolling through reviews, maybe even trying to decide which one to buy, but you don't have a clear goal in mind, you're likely not going to stick with it long term. And I say that with so much love, and I want to be here to help you. So let's talk about this. Because I have the rebounder that I have right now because I bought it from a woman who had tried it just 3 times and decided it wasn't for her. So she sold it to me. A week later, I stopped by a yard sale in the neighborhood across the street, and I was in shock because there was my exact rebounder, the brand, the color, the size, sitting there, barely used, for even less money at a yard sale. And when I asked the guy who was hosting the yard sale about it, he said they tried it a few times, but then it just sat in the garage, so he was trying to move it. People buy rebounders thinking this is what's going to get me fit. This is what's going to help me lose the weight. This is what's going to change my life. They like the different benefits they hear about because there are so many benefits to using a rebounder. But what they don't factor in is what success looks like for them. They don't know what they're trying to actually accomplish, and they don't stop to evaluate where they're starting from to where they want to go and what it's actually going to take to achieve that goal. So friend, without a clear goal, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to give up. It's easy to get frustrated when the results don't show up the way that you expect. It's easy to feel like you're failing when you're just not tracking and noticing the progress that is happening. And friend, I'm a prime example of this. If you've caught some of my previous videos, you know that when I started rebounding, I set one big goal. I have the goal of releasing 100 pounds of unwanted weight. And that's a huge goal. So I'm just trying to take it in steady increments and break it down. And my first 2 weeks of rebounding, here I am so excited about my new rebounder, this new workout I've discovered, and I'm taking the action. I'm showing up every day. And yet, after 2 weeks, I had gained 5 pounds. And no, it wasn't water weight. No, it wasn't about my period. It was real measurable weight that I was feeling. Just walking around, I was getting winded. I could feel this 5 pounds and it was leaving me exhausted. So these 5 pounds left me questioning, like, what is going on? Why is this not working? But I didn't quit because I did have my clear goal. I knew what I was working towards. And even when the results didn't show up the way that I was wanting, there wasn't that boost of motivation right off the bat. I knew that I was building strength. I knew I was waking up dormant muscles. I knew I was doing things that were in good alignment with the goal that I had. And I also know that sometimes progress might go in the opposite direction of what you're seeking to do right in that moment. And so it's about keeping the big picture in mind, which is why it is so important to have a clear goal. So I didn't blame the rebounder. I didn't give up on my goals. I just decided I've got to rethink some things because I know that everything starts with the way that we think. And I don't want to let in negative thoughts. I don't want to let in limitations and excuses. And I definitely don't want to go down the rabbit hole of thinking this is not working, because I coach women on how to achieve the goals they have for their lives and how to transform where they're at now to where they want to be. So we set a clear goal, even if it's just one goal at a time. We figure out where they're starting from. We know what's going on in their mind, and we clear out all the junk, all the negative thoughts, all the excuses that keep them stuck, all the limitations that they've been believing that have stopped them from having the dream life or goal or accomplishment that they've been seeking. And this is the same with you in your rebounding journey. If you want to find long-term success, you have to know what success is looking like for you. So are you here because you're striving for weight loss? Is it strength, more energy, better balance, one of the health benefits that comes with rebounding? You just need to define it and know what you're working towards, and then start tracking your progress. So when things start going differently than what you expected, you're not just going to go, and give up. You're going to be able to look at the numbers, have some real tangible results, have some insight, have some knowledge of what you have learned through your progress you have made to be able to readjust, to tweak things, to modify so that you keep going without making excuses. But there's something that you just don't know yet. There's a lot of things that I'm really good at. But one of the things that I'm having to learn how to be better at is understanding how my body works and then how to release weight. And so this is a learning journey for me in that regard. And so I'm applying all these same principles here that I'm sharing with you. I'm applying them in my own life. And this is what's going to help you avoid becoming somebody who just buys a rebounder or buys other fitness equipment or supplements or you name it, and then ends up chasing a quick fix. When things get hard, when things don't work out the way that they're seeking, they give up. I don't want that to happen to you, because a rebounder isn't the magic ticket. It's just a tool, friend. It's a tool just like your thoughts are a tool. And it can be very powerful, as can your thoughts. And you've got to take control and know how to use it. The power comes from the intention that you bring to it, the clarity you have about your goals, the thoughts that you choose to believe about yourself and what you are capable of. So friend, let me ask you, what is your goal? I would love to be able to encourage you. Drop your goal or some part of it in the comments so that I can encourage you in there. And what are you trying to achieve with the rebounder? Do you know that for yourself? Why do you want a rebounder? Because if you don't know, it's easy to get discouraged and walk away. I've bought stuff before in the past and not used it. So I can speak to this with some credibility. I have done this in my life, and I'm not going to give up on what I've done buying the rebounder and using it in my life now. So when you can define what success looks like for you, you don't have to know how to get there, but you do have to know what you're going towards. And when you can get clear on where you're starting from, that's where you're at right now, and knowing where you want to go, you can track your progress along the way. And that's when the rebounder becomes a powerful tool in your journey. So before you hit buy on that rebounder you've been shopping for, before you step into your next session, ask yourself, what does success look like for me? Visualize that while you're jumping. It's going to encourage you. And how do you keep track of your progress? I'm taking video and pictures every day. That's a big part of it. I'm also measuring beyond the weight. I'm doing full body scans now so that I can see a lot of different things that are happening in my body, because we want you to experience life with a rebounder that works versus a rebounder that just sits in your garage or gets listed in the next yard sale. All right, friend, have yourself an exceptional day. I believe in you. You've got this.